Hey, YouTube family. Thank you for tuning in again. And today we're going to talk about passport bros, the real deal. So, disclaimer on this um, what I'm about to illustrate to you in this video does not represent all Western women. Um, Obviously, there are wonderful, wonderful, supportive women in every culture. Um, but there is a society shift, a cultural shift that has happened in the West. And again, that's not everybody, but unfortunately, it appears to be the majority, and at least it's the fad or the new norm. And a lot of men don't want to deal with it anymore. You know, it's not that men don't like the women from their own country, but unfortunately, many men in the West they've had toxic relationships and they're looking elsewhere. And everybody has the right to be happy. So go find your happiness. If it's not in a certain area or with a certain person, go find your happiness. If you're from Louisiana and you're not happy with the women in Louisiana, go find some women up in Idaho or wherever, right? People travel all the time and find relationships. And it's Passport Bros is nothing new. It's gaining a lot of notoriety and it's a lot of attention right now, but it's nothing new. And Passport Bros has nothing to do with race. They're turning it into some race thing where black men are going and doing bad things in other countries, underdeveloped countries, which is nonsense, right? This has been happening for decades and decades. Military. I spent a lot of time in the Marine Corps, and I can tell you, a lot of people I know stayed at their duty stations, or not, in the countries where their duty stations were, and married locals there. It's just what culture do you reflects your values the most? And I can tell you, it's not to demonize one or the other. It's just people have the right to go and be happy no matter where that is. So that is the disclaimer. I just want everyone to understand that this is not new, right? And if you think about it, women do it too, right? Passport bros can be women too, right? I mean, they can go travel as well. But when it seems like there's a hypocrisy going on, because when women do it, it becomes a hit movie, right? Like, what is it? Stella Got Her Groove Back, Under the Tuscan Sun, The Holiday, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, I think, or something like that, right? They go find love elsewhere in other places, and it's not looked upon as them taking advantage of a lower class situation or people. It's oh, they found their happiness. It's amazing. It's great, and it's the same for men, regardless of what the internet says. Everybody else, everybody has a right to go and find their happiness wherever that may be. So, with that in mind, and my disclaimer out of the way, I'll go ahead and start the video. Well, men have to decide, do you want this?
Why do you work so much? You are never home. I did not sign up for this. I am tired of you.
Babe, I'm just trying to provide. I'm trying to give you and the kids what I didn't have. But if it'll make you happy, I'll cut my work hours.
Why are we living paycheck to paycheck? You are such a loser. I have needs, you know. If you cannot provide, then I will find a man that can. You should be making at least $100,000.
We can't win. We work hard for our families and it's fuss, fuss, fuss. We don't gross 100,000 or to some $1 million and it's, you can't provide. What kind of man are you? That is the reality for a lot of men. And don't even get me started with this one. To each their own, but I guarantee you most men are not looking for this. But this is society. Or would a man rather have this?
Hi handsome, how was work? I missed you and dinner is ready.
Thank you, sweetheart. Work was long, but it was a productive day. But I'm sure you don't want to hear about that.
I would love to hear about your day. Please tell me about your day and then I'll share my day.
Well, work was good. It was long and tiresome, but we did end up winning the contract, so it was worth it in the end.
You are an amazing provider. Our family appreciates what you do for us. Even when you feel tired and have to spend many hours, you still push ahead. Thank you. Maybe when it slows down a little, we can take a vacation.
I would really love that. And thank you for all that you do to hold down the family in our home. It's the hardest job in the world, and I know that, and I appreciate that, sweetheart. I tell you what, let's go to Cebu to the mall tomorrow so you can shop for a few things.
I appreciate that, but it's okay. I don't really need anything, especially if it means you will have to work more.
Thank you for being so considerate. You're so sweet. But you deserve it. And I promise I'll stay in budget so that doesn't happen and I don't have to work additional hours. So that video was just to illustrate some of the challenges that Western men have or that they feel, right? Some of the toxic relationships they've been in, feeling like they can't win. No matter what you do, you can't win. You work too much, you're never home, so I'm going to go have affairs. And nowadays, with the way it's set up, it's just gotten ridiculous with cucking and whatever the heck you call that stuff, cuckold, that kind of stuff. I mean, to each their own. If you like that, go for it. But it's taken men's masculinity away. Their want and their drive to provide for their family. It's suffocating. So anyway, that's what that's about, right? So would you rather that life like that, or would you rather a life with a woman that you find somewhere else that's able to give you that happiness and that peace? And again, you can find that in the West if you choose. You can find that overseas if you choose. What's amazing is that most of the men and women posting online have never even been to any of these countries, these Southeast Asian countries that they're talking down about, let alone left the U.S., period. Majority of Americans never even leave the U.S. And I get it. I understand why. We have a beautiful country. We've got snow, beaches. We've got everything we could want. But culturally, we are lacking in some ways. We're lacking because, and I say that because many of my friends, I traveled my whole career from when I was young in the Marine Corps through my diving career to now. I'm in Israel. But I've traveled my whole career, and the kids that are able to go out and learn other cultures and be more versed on the world tend to be more successful. And that is just a reality, because they're understanding that it's not, everything isn't geared around them, which is how we look at it from an American standpoint at times. And sometimes it can be taken as arrogance from others. And I don't think we mean it that way. Obviously, we're probably the biggest, not probably, we are the biggest giving nation in the world by far. I mean, if the U.S. wasn't here and China or Russia or someone else was the only superpower, good luck, right? You wouldn't have the same hundreds of billions of dollars that flow out to other countries to help every year, right? So I won't get into that and get off my soapbox, but the point is, we're no better. We're no better than anybody else. We're fortunate. We're blessed to be born in the United States. But what's amazing is that some of these countries that they're talking down on, they're beautiful countries. Thailand, the Philippines. The Philippines is an amazing country. I'll probably end up there. But it is an amazing country, and it has beautiful cities, beautiful islands and beaches. Does it have poverty like every other country? Of course it does. The U.S. is not, immune from that either. Look at our ghettos. You want to tell me the quality of life in Compton is better than the quality of life in some of the less fortunate or underdeveloped areas in the Philippines? No. Some people prefer that traditional lifestyle, going out and getting their food every day, living in a hut. Would they maybe want a little bit better? Maybe, I don't know. Some don't though. Some people prefer that, right? But the point is, a lot of people talking a bunch of crap about passport bros and about traveling abroad and finding love don't truly have a clue even what they're talking about and have never visited. And you got people that, they're talking about, oh, I've seen what it is. It's it's for sex and it's for this and that. It's nonsense. To be honest with you, the woman part of it, the relationship part of it is not even primary. The cost of living is the very first reason that majority of men go abroad, because they can take their hard-earned dollar that they've been working for 20, 30, 40, however many years, they can take that dollar and multiply it 5 or 10 times in some of these other countries and live a good life. And if they happen to find someone there in that country that they decide to retire in or travel to, then that's just a bonus, and that's awesome. But that's not the primary, is to go and find a woman or find women. You can do that anywhere in the world if you want to go and pay or do stuff like that. So that is not what it's about. But of course, people are going to do what they got to do to get clicks on social media and, take advantage of that. But, the one person that I heard that I really am impressed by is the Filipina P. So she's a Filipina, and she takes pride in her country and is educated as they come. Obviously a very pretty woman as well. So all these myths that, the Filipinos are uneducated and their healthcare is horrible and they're desperate, it's nonsense. I'll tell you what, again, I've traveled all over the world, and especially the Philippines. The Philippines is one of the most educated because they have such a robust college system, university system. They produce, I don't know the statistics and the numbers, but they produce an astronomical amount of nurses all over the world. They leave the Philippines and go to other countries, including the United States, as traveling nurses and things like that. Hardworking people, again, they leave the Philippines to go travel and be caregivers and in other areas, not because they have to, because they want to better their life, just like anybody. You go where the work is. I'm here in Israel because I'm going where the work is. So with that said, there's no reason that everyone shouldn't be able to go find love, right? That is our God-given right. It doesn't matter where you find it. If you find it in a city outside of yours, in the U.S., or if you find it in another country, that's your business. And I will say that, again, all countries have what I hope to be is still a majority of good women and men, right? But good women. And it's a small percentage. Unfortunately, a couple bad apples spoil the bunch, and that's kind of what's happening in the U.S. and the Western world in general, but specifically the U.S. You see it. There's a culture shift, and it's rotting marriage. It's rotting family. So that is why most men are happy to, court a Filipina, for instance, because their very traditional values still have faith in their higher power. But primarily cost of living. And if you ever get a chance, you want your money to go further, trust me, go take a trip to the Philippines, go to Cebu or go to Almaguete or go to anywhere, right? I mean, I would stay, personally, Manila's nice to go and check out, but I would stay out of that. But go look at all over, go enjoy the islands and see how far your money goes. That's what it's really about. And again, a spouse or a girlfriend, whatever, that's just a bonus if someone finds someone that holds their values and they get along with. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you like the content and you want to hear some more. I'll have additional stuff coming all the time. I travel and I want to share it with you. So thanks for your time and take care.